Putin and Tucker interview. What a relief of information being released that truthfully cannot even compare to the American candidates. If you look at Putin, the way he speaks, the way he talks, the way he carries himself, it's like he's playing chess. And look at our politicians. They're like playing checkers. Our politicians can only see 1 or 2 or 3 moves ahead, where Putin is looking at 25, 50, 100 moves ahead. I mean, the guy is just so smart, so intelligent, and honest to God, everything that I have been saying is exactly what Putin has said. For example, that this war was led by America, led NATO, right? That Putin didn't want to get into this war, and we put him in a corner. We pushed him and pushed him and pushed him till he had to react. The same thing is happening now with Ukraine. We're putting Russia in a corner. We're doing all these sneaky attacks in their own country, in their own soil, blowing up their infrastructure, stealing their money, hostaging their, and the list goes on and on. So they at their very corner, so many red lines have been crossed. Today react, and then once they react, say, "Oh, we told you." They're bad guys. They're the boogeyman. So I'm glad that Putin was able to illustrate that, the people in power in America are not the presidents that you and I vote for, but there's a small group of secretive people that rule America. And I'm glad that he was able to explain that in a worldwide television. Okay. Also, that that Putin tried to become one of us. The whole world wants to become part of America. They watch these Hollywood movies, and it doesn't matter if you're in India, you're in Pakistan, you're in Iran, you're in Russia. People watch these Hollywood movies and they want to become American. They want to dye their hair blonde. They want to look American. They want to look white. They want to have the genes. They want to have all the stuff that America had. So the world is, excuse me, want to become like us. They envy us in a positive way. They want to emulate us, right? But now, because of all the crazy madness, since I've been in America, the amount of wars we have in America is ridiculous, right? At first I used to think that America was the good country, right? But today I realize that we're just a war hungry. We steal other people's resources, we topple other people's governments, we cause massive inflation, we cause massive immigration, and the immigration that we are mad about is caused by our foreign policies, okay? But the thing that Putin helped realize is that the American government, as we are voting for, is not really the ones in power. Also, that the American government that we're voting for, their only interest is their own political power. They're only in office for a short period of time, and they just want to increase their power. And then the next clown comes in, and the next clown comes in. It doesn't matter what clown comes in, they don't have the full control because there's a secret group in the back that's controlling that, okay? And at the same time, it showed that, we all want to, when I say we, the people around the world want to become like Americans. They want to, have the American lifestyle. Everyone's looking up to America. But we blew that away. We caused so much war, so much destruction that I think that most people around the world are starting to hate Americans. They hate America. They hate their policy. They hate their foreign policies. And instead of becoming, everyone's trying to be like us, now they're going to realize that, hey, they're cool the way they are. Russians are cool the way they are. Indians are cool the way they are. Pakistanis are cool the way they are. They don't need to look like the white man. And I think the world's starting to realize that trying to become the American is really not to anyone's benefit. Not everyone can be blue eyes and green eyes, right? Some people are going to have black hair. Some are going to have slanted eyes. And everyone's beautiful in their own ways. So to make America like the top of the hill is BS, because if every country was living the way we were living, then there would be no families, right? The gayism will be everywhere, right? The family block will be destroyed, because only in America you have 50%, 60% of families getting divorced. If you look at Iran, if you look at India, you look at Pakistan, you look at Russia, the divorce is so much less, right? Same with obesity, guys. Okay, but that's a different story. So if the world all turned like us, from consumption to the deteriorating of the family, right, the building block, right, then, then the world will be a big chaos because if not every country is going to be able, if we all consume electricity and energy like America does, then the earth will be bust. It'll be bankrupt. It will be nothing, devastation, okay? Because not everyone's going to be able to have 5 cars in their backyard. Not everyone's going to need to have a car for every family, and the debt, right? Or you're able to get money for work you haven't done yet and you'll pay later. I mean, that type of thinking is killing Americans, from obesity to lack of motivation to be their dreams, even they live in a great country with freedom and the economy. But the idea of like, I'll pay tomorrow, the idea that, I don't have to plant the seed today, but you'll give me the harvest today and I'll maybe work for it later. It's just not a good idea to implement around the world, okay? Only one country can do that. And because that one country has done that, which is America, has enslaved so many other countries to do that, because we need the natural resources of Afghanistan, we need the natural resources of Iraq, we need the natural resources of China, we need the natural resources of Russia. We need all these people to give us their stuff so we can live the way we do. And I'm glad that in this interview, Tucker and Putin has helped the American people that are willing to listen to realize that, hey, America's, people around the world are realizing that America's not as cool as they used to think they were, right? That Russia wanted to become part of NATO, right? They wanted to become like us, but we keep pushing them away. We keep pushing them away. Why do we keep pushing them away? Is it because the military complex, they benefit from all the wars? Is it because that the machines, the weapons that we sell around the world benefits those corporations? Why do we need NATO when Russia was trying to join NATO? See, these things are meant to separate the West from all the other countries, because the West thinks they're the best, because they have the blonde hair and blue eyes, whatever, and they think they're the best, right? And no one else can come up to them, even other civilized nations, right? And the other thing to ponder about is that all the stuff that Putin said about their history. I mean, most people in America are just TikTok brain, right? They only got 30 seconds of brain power left. That's how our society is built on, right? When you're a dead nation, when you're able to get the harvest today, that creates TikTok brain, right? Because only when you're able to work and then plant the seed, plow the ground, and then harvest, that you build the kind of muscle and the resistance that's required to become a tough individual. Where you just signed a piece of paper and you borrowed the money without even doing an ounce of work, creates TikTok brain, right? Creates this lifestyle of just easiness, less resistance, narcissism. And that's what America is about. Most people in America are pretty much narcissists. We're all thinking about, how can I benefit me? How can I be the top of the mountain? How can I push everyone else down for me to get to the top of the mountain? The same philosophy that we have in our economy is the same philosophy we have in our foreign policy, which is, how can America keep the Russians down? How can America keep the Chinese down? How can the American keep all these other people down so we can be the top of the pyramid? And this is why, I personally became a minimalist, and I'm done with consumption and consumerism, is because I realized that it's only breeding narcissists, right? For me to be ahead, I have to keep you down. And, I think that we should all help each other to get up. And so with our foreign policy, with our domestic policy, all creating narcissists, which means I am the only one that matters. No one else matters. There's no empathy for poor people. There's no empathy for people that don't have any food. There's no empathy for anyone besides me. I'm the only dude and no one else matters. As long as I benefit, it's the only thing that matters. And I'm glad that Tucker and Putin really revealed that America doesn't give a rat's ass about anyone. They don't give a rat's about their own cities. Look at Detroit, dude. Corporate America, which is basically the same corporations that own America with the military complex, they don't give a rat's ass about Detroit. Look, they came in there, they made the city bloom it. Like, it went from nothing to something really, really big. This is where all the cars were produced, the Fords, the GMs, etc. And look at Detroit today, okay? The same exact game plan has happened with our foreign policy. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Iraq. We'll just bail out on people. Look at Ukraine. We'll support you, dude. Go kill all your men, and then we will not support you. So the realization of this floppy, wishy-washy, narcissistic, policies is what's created massive inflation for us in America and all around the world. It's caused millions and millions and millions and millions of people to be dead because of our bombings and missiles and weapons, and it's caused for you and I to become debt slaves for the big corporation. They want us to be busy bees. They want us to work our butts off, watch football, watch this, and guys, who cares about the football, guys? I mean, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I don't give a rat's ass, right? We're in the midst of World War III. We're in the midst of hyperinflation. We're in the midst of getting nuked. We're in the midst of genociding a whole country, over 2 million people. I don't give a shit about the football. As I said before, the Titanic is sinking. Everyone's dancing. Everyone's drinking, right? And watching that football is another example where everyone is so distracted about the Titanic sinking. No one's even paying attention that it's sinking. And my point exactly, guys, okay? So watching this Tucker show helped me really realize that what I have been saying for quite a while is actually true. That, hey, we are a nation of barbaric animals that love to fight and go to war with so many different people. We're barbaric that we're going to steal their resources. We're going to lie to the people, say they have massive weapons of destruction, but really what we want is their oil fields, right? And this is what we do because we're an empire. We're not the good guys, as they say on TV, unfortunately, right? We're not the good guys. We are a destructive empire that steals, kills, and tortures, and all kinds of good stuff. Hence, the guy that's being, what was that reporter's name? Because they revealed that all that stuff, right? That what America's been doing to all these prisoners, torturing them and stuff like that. So we're not the good guys that the TV says we are, the CNN, the NBC, and the Big Brother says we are. We're not. We're the thief in the night. We're the thief in the day. We are the ones that go and steal everyone else's resources. We kill children. We kill women. We kill men. We destroy our environment. We are narcissists of a country. All we care about is us, us, us. We don't care even about the planet. We don't even care about the trees. We don't care about the bees. We don't care about the ants. We don't give a shit about anyone besides ourselves. What we want is to get the next 2.0. What we want is to get the next 3.0. That's all we care about, guys. And, and I think the world's starting to realize that. And that's why I made a video a couple of days ago that said, I believe that the world's going to attack America because people are going to start to realize that, dude, it doesn't. Who wants to be like the Americans, right? Everyone in the world at one time wanted to be like the Americans. Like they were watching these Hollywood movies, they want to be like Top Gun and this. And I think they're starting to realize that, dude, their own culture is great. To be an Indian is great. To be a Pakistani is great. To be an Arab is great. To be a Persian is great. To be a Chinese is great. To be a Korean is great. Everyone is great, dude. Not just the Americans, right? And I think the world's starting to realize through all the massacres and genocides we have done. But I think the U.S. population is starting to realize that because their own economic hardships is happening when they go to the grocery store. When they go to the grocery store and that bread they used to buy used to be $1 or $2, now it's $10, they realize that our foreign policy is what's made this so expensive. They're starting to realize that all this wars is making this so expensive. They're starting to realize that all this big brother expenditure to corporate America, subsidies to Boeing, subsidies to Ford, subsidies to GM is what's causing us to be where we are today, guys. The too big to fail corporations, too big to fail companies, are what's causing all the pain for us today. I think not only the world's starting to realize that, but also the domestic people in America are starting to realize that. Not everyone, right? Because when you're a narcissist, all you think about is yourself. You don't give a shit about anyone else. But that is why I believe America breeds narcissists. They want every individual, every corporation to be a narcissist, to think about only themselves and have no empathy or care or compassion about anyone else. And that's what we breed in America. Okay, honest to God, guys, this is what and this is what my personal opinions are. I've seen little kids fall right off their scooters in a busy area, and not one person to stop and help an individual. Okay, I've seen this so many times, guys. Okay, I mean, there's no love and compassion. There's very little love and compassion. Everyone's just a workhorse. Everyone's trying to buy the next 2.0. Everyone's trying to work their butt off just to make their monthly payments. Everyone's just trying to work their butt off to make their car payments. Everyone's just trying to work to buy the next thing, whatever the next thing is, right? No one has time to think about what is going on in their life. Why do they have to work so much? Why is there so much divorce in America? Why is there so much obesity in America? Why is there blah, blah, fill in the spot. You can leave it below. Why is there so many homeless people in America? Why is there such a drug pandemic, epidemic in America, right? From, if you're talking about popping pills, if you're talking about drinking, like every corner you go, there's a bar, dude. Every freaking corner, there's a gas station selling you alcohol, right? But no one says alcohol is a bad thing. But, they talk about all the other stuff. Every corner you go, there's something you could get numbed on. There's an ice cream. You can eat some sugar. There's all kinds of test tube sugars you can eat. There's all kinds of test tube chemicals you could take, from Prozac to whatever. There's all kinds of substances you can find. Well, dude, why is a society that's so free so medicated? Have you ever thought about that, right? Right? Why is a society that has so much abundance, we got to work so much? Why does a mom and dad have to work? Back in the 70s, back in the 60s, only the dad had to work in America. So these types of questions are starting to brew in everyday Americans when they go to the cash register in their time to pay for their food, when they're trying to pay their mortgage or their car payment. Why is the F-150 that used to be only $15,000 now $40,000? Okay, it's the same piece of crap car. Actually, they're making it more cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. If you look at an F-150 from the 70s to an F-150 today, they're not even using metal anymore. They're using really thin sheet metal, guys. So the material deterioration is happening, right? But even though the things are getting cheaper and cheaper, they're costing more and more and more. I mean, the quality of stuff, if you're looking at furniture, if you're looking at bicycles, if you're looking at beds, it doesn't matter. It's gone down, guys, okay? But the price is getting more and more. And I think that people in America are starting to realize that, hey, what's going on with their big brother, all this endless wars, all this endless spending, subsidies of big corporations, subsidies of pharmaceutical corporations, and so on and so on, does not do anything for you and me besides make it more harder for us to spend time with our family and loved ones and enjoy life, because all the life we can enjoy is the TV. That's all they want us to do. They want to sit at home, watch TV, all right? Or go to the bar and drink some beer and watch some TV and increase the economy, right? They don't give a rat's ass that our education system is shitty. They don't give a rat's ass that our food is poisoning us. The food that they sell here in America, many countries will not even allow it inside of their borders, guys, because it's known to cause cancer. It's known to kill you, right? But they feed it to you here because guess what? They have lobbyists. Guess what? We can genocide a whole race because they have lobbyists. Guess what? They can give you shitty ass food, test you food in your food. They know that test tube ingredient causes cancer, but they got lobbyists, guys, and it's all good. You can take it, dude. It helps the economy. Eat it up, because when you get sick, it helps the economy in the medical industry. It helps the economy in the pharmaceutical industry. So eat it up, dude. It's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins, aka narcissistic behavior. Who cares about Americans? Who cares about you? Who cares that most people are working their ass off? It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer or a doctor. You're in debt up your ass, dude. Let's be honest. Let's be honest with ourselves. I just saw. Doesn't matter how rich you are, right? The richer you are, the more debt you have. That's the end of the story, dude. As I posted on my Facebook, most Americans have more debt than they have wealth. So if you consider yourself a multimillionaire, you have more debt than you have wealth. If you consider yourself a billionaire, you have more debt than you have wealth. Very few people in America are debt free. Majority of people in America that are extremely wealthy are extremely in debt. Even the middle class, even the poor class, everyone is in debt. I'm one of the very few people that don't have any debt, guys. I don't have any credit card debt. I don't have any car debt. I don't have any mortgages, etc. Okay, and that's because I don't want to get into debt. I knew from the very beginning that bankers were stinky, right? Like, I don't want stinky bankers. I believe that you got to do the work up front to get something. I believe the law of nature. I don't believe in the obesity law, right? Where you sign a piece of paper, they give you the money, and then eventually you'll work for it, right? That is BS, dude. This is why we have a society of obesity. This is why we have a society of lazy motherfuckers, right? People that don't want to work. You have all these people that on the government cheese, aka voters, right? The government tells them how to vote because if they don't vote in a certain way, they're not going to get their government cheese. I believe that we should be strong independently. I believe that we should have a small government. I believe that we don't need all these subsidies for corporate America. I believe that we don't need all these corporate America. I think that the small guy should have more businesses than corporate America. I think that subsidies should be, if there should be any subsidies, I don't even think there should be any subsidies. But if there was, it should be the small business owners versus Amazons or the Fords or the Bank of Americas. They don't need any subsidies. If they fucked up, right? If they effed up and they're going bankrupt, let them go bankrupt. Someone else will come. This is what America is supposed to be. Free enterprise, right? Free capitalism. Well, how can there be free enterprise and free capitalism in an economy where the government picks winners and losers, right? So this Carl Tucker and Putin interview really helped not only me to re-certify my beliefs that, hey, everything I have said about the wars, about what's coming, about why NATO-led America wants this war, about the dollar, about who controls, about all this stuff is true, because not is only what I'm saying, but another smart individual as a world leader, right, that knows more facts than I do, is coming to the same conclusion as I am, right, that they want this war. They want to keep pushing you to buy more stuff. They want you to be a debt slave, and they benefit from that. And I think that the leaders of America are probably not even Americans. They could be more like aliens, right? If you think about old history, Anunnakis, okay? If you go back in thousands and thousands of years, they said that there's been aliens that came here that separated us, right? For us to be workhorses for them, right? And they somehow genetically made us from themselves. And since the beginning of time, man has been in wars. I mean, I don't have the answer. I'm just guessing. Can it be that the rulers of America are aliens, right? And they constantly want us to go to war and they constantly want us to fight and they're causing massive chaos around the world. I mean, look at Israel. Because of them, because of America, because of Great Britain, for over a century, Israel was not even a country, right? Only at the time of Moses when they had space there. But after that, over a century, they didn't even have their own space. They had no country. Now, all of a sudden, Great Britain, after World War II, declares on the piece of paper that this is Israel's land. And since that time, there's been nothing but wars there. There's been nothing but conflicts there. Who benefits from that? What are the corporations that benefit from that, okay? So why did America and Great Britain create so much chaos in the Middle East? I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Like, just think about the geography of a nation. Like, if you go somewhere and all you see is a bunch of Asians, if you go somewhere and all you see is a bunch of Arabs, and then they stick up some Chinese people in there, well, of course there's going to be conflict there, dude. It's kind of like if you go somewhere and there's a bunch of red ants and you stick some black ants in there, well, there's going to be conflicts, right? I mean, that's just simple. So why did Great Britain and why did America create Israel through thin air after the World War II and place a bunch of white skin complected individuals in a bunch of dark area skin area? Why? I mean, it just doesn't make sense, right? I mean, just if you look at naturally, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, of course they put this there for us to fight. 75 years has been war, guys, okay? If Great Britain really wanted to help out the Jews, then why didn't they cut off part of their own country? If Americans really wanted to cut out the Jews, why don't they give them Texas? Why don't they give them Oklahoma? Why don't they give them part of their own land? Why do they have to give part of someone else's land for them, right? If they really love the Jews, go ahead, create Texas part, make that for the Jews, right? And I mean, why take someone else's land that they don't volunteer it? They didn't volunteer it. Why take their land? Why did Great Britain declared that Palestine should be for Jews, right? So they did that because if you go back, Great Britain is a small country, it's a warlike animal country, and the way they win wars is by creating two sides of a conflict. They'll go to India and Pakistan. Have you noticed Indians and Pakistan, they look exactly alike, but they're at war with each other? Why is that, dude? Why is that, right? Same thing with the Chinese. Like if you look at North Korea, Japan, these people look exactly the same, but they're having conflicts, right? Why is that? Same thing with Iran and Iraq, right? When the Iran and Iraq war was there, if you ever eat Iraqi food, it's very similar to Iranian food. If you look at the Iraqi guy and the Iranian guy, we look very similar. Why were people that look very similar at war? Well, because of America, guys. I mean, that's the truth, dude. America and Great Britain, they try to create divisions between similar people so they can stay in power. That's it. That's the story. The same thing has happened in America domestically, right? They create divisions for the divisions to fight each other, the same people to fight each other. Same thing has happened in India with Pakistan, same thing has happened with Iran and Iraq, same thing has happened today, right? So they create, Great Britain and America creates divisions of the same kind of people to fight with each other so they can get ahead. That's their whole goal. That's the same reason they created Israel. They wanted to put these individuals there to create a 100 years, 75 years of conflict. Since that act of Great Britain creating Israel out of thin air over 75 years ago, there's been nothing but wars down there. My question is, every time there's a bomb drop, who is the beneficiary of that? Okay, what corporations are the beneficiary of that? Who is the beneficiary of having wars? Okay, just follow the money. It's very, very simple. To end this crazy madness for 75 years, let's take all the Jews and put them in Europe, put them in America, right? That'll solve the problem. But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. No one in Europe is willing to give up their home. No one in America is willing to give up their home. Guess what? The Palestinians ain't willing to give up their home either, dude. Okay, let's just be fair. They're not willing to give up their home. They haven't been willing to give up their home for 75 years. They've been resistant, and they'll resist to the end of them, just like the Native Americans did, guys. Okay, that's just the way it is. You know, someone comes in your home, some people will submit, other people will fight to the death, right? But we have to put ourselves into other shoes and realize, why is there a separation for this conflict? Because the West, like America and Great Britain, benefits from separations all over the world. And this is something that Putin and Tucker has helped us realize, that they benefit from wars, right? That the presidents are not even in charge, right? That they are some part of a charge, but not 100% in charge. That there are other people they got to go talk to, that they're in charge. And the people that are in charge, they want separation all over the world so American could become a winner. They're just cheaters, dude. America's just cheater. When I say America, I'm not talking about you and me. I'm talking about our leaders, right? The aliens, I think, that control the leaders, right? I think that these individuals don't give a shit about you and me. And they're probably not even American. They're probably not even humans, guys, because what kind of human would want to eliminate a whole race of another human? You know, I find it hard to believe that, you know, they're even real humans, guys, because we don't know who they are. We have no idea. We don't even see these individuals, but they're in the background. It's not the president. It's not the congressman. There's someone else that rules our nation. We don't even know who the fuck they are, guys. That's the sad truth, right? But we all have this identity that we're Americans, not really realizing that the leaders are aliens. Probably. I have no idea. I'm just speculating. They're probably aliens, not even from the human race, and they're just whacking people, dude. You know, and they cause massive chaos all over around the world for so many years because they benefit from that. They don't want humanity to get ahead. I mean, that's the only logical reason I can come up with, because why would anyone want so much wars over and over? I mean, like war after war after war. Why is America in so many wars? I mean, God, dude, since 1986, there have been so many wars. From the 70s, there have been so many wars, okay? And the crazy thing is, we don't go to wars with top peak components. We go with wars with kids, right? We're in full adult America, but we like to go to war with kids. Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya. We like to go to war with people that are below us. They don't have the same fighting ability. They don't have the same missile technology. They don't have the same airplanes. We don't want to tee off with someone that can whip our butt. We like to bully people. We like to go to wars with weak individuals, with weak countries that we know we can kick their butt. And even then, our butts gets handed to it. Look at what happened to Afghanistan. Our butt got handed to it. Look what happened to Iraq. Our butt got handed to it. Even though we go against weak countries, they end up fighting like crazy because guess what? It's their home. We're intruding, we're trespassing thousands of miles from our borders into their countries, and we wonder why they want to fight. We wonder why they want to fight to the death. Because it's their home. They grew up there. They don't want to leave. They don't want our dictatorship. They don't want our stupid policies. They already see what has happened with our policies, and they don't want any part of it, okay? I don't blame them. Do you? I'd love to hear your comments below. Now, so this interview with Putin and Tucker was great because many of the things I've been saying for years has came to a light, and that NATO wants to war. America just wants war. They profit from war, and who knows why they profit? Who knows why they want, and why they're such a cheaters? Why does America want to hold every other country down so they could be number one? Why aren't we a fair country? Why are we not allowing other countries to come up? If they've done the right things, let them come up. It's kind of like a race. We're all going to do a race, but one guy doesn't want anyone else to win, and he's going to do all this cheating to make sure that he's the only winner. No one would clap for that athlete. No one would clap for that because what makes a number one winner a number one is the work they put into it. And if you're cheating to become number one, no one's going to appreciate you. No one. And the side effect is you. The side effect is you're not that good. You think you are because you got this gold plates. You got all this gold showing like you won all these trophies. But those trophies were only won through manipulation and deception. And at the end of the day, you're not that good. You got those trophies, but you're not that good. And we can see it in the battlefields. We can see it where, look at Israel, right? You had a bunch of Arabs in a tunnel overtake the whole military post, guys, right? These guys have no money. They're in sandals, right? And you have Israel with the world's top military, the fanciest radars, the fanciest smart fences, the fanciest drones, fanciest cameras, fanciest bombs, fanciest this, the most top, and they got overwhelmed by people in tunnels in sandals. So think about that, guys. So it doesn't matter how great your weaponry is. What really matters is your heart. And we've seen that with Native Americans. We've seen that with Iraq, with Afghanistan. We're seeing it with the Palestinians, that you can have the most advanced weapons, but you're still going to take hits. You're still going to have losses. Of course, the baby is going to get brutalized when a big bully beats him up, but don't expect the baby to run away. They're going to punch back too, and we've seen it so many times. So I hope we learn our lesson, and we're willing to work with other countries in harmony versus trying to put everyone down, trying to screw everyone over so we can get ahead. This is the same philosophy we apply domestically. This is the same philosophy we apply in the foreign policy. So it hasn't got us anywhere. Yes, America has moved significantly ahead, but as Russia says, we're also contracting tremendously fast. So just kind of like anyone that takes steroids, you can grow significantly, but once you come off of it, you're going to lose everything you've got. And we are in the phase of losing everything we have. Most Americans are not going to admit it. Big Brother's not going to admit it, but the dollar is dying. Look at the inflation. F-150 used to be 15, now it's 40. Well, something has happened there, ladies and gentlemen. Something has happened there, okay? And it's your buying power, right? And we're heading into tough times as the world wakes up from the American delusion of superpower. They're going to realize that we're not that cool. We've never been that cool. And everyone that want to try to be like us, they're going to realize that, hey, being a Pakistani is great. Being a Persian is great. Being a Chinese is great. Not everyone needs to be American with blue eyes and green eyes and blonde hair. You can all be cool the way we are, and we all are beautiful the way we are, and we need to just respect each other. We need to respect each other's cultures and just try to get along, dude. This is why I like what the Putin said about China. He said that even though China is a great country and they're powerful, they don't have aggressive, policies like America does. They're not trying to take over everyone. Like I said before, China's creating products for us to use: bicycles, computers, laptops. America's creating bullets for us to destroy each other with. They're creating missiles. They're creating airplanes. They're creating bombs. So look at the difference. We are creating weapons of destruction. China's creating weapon of efficiencies. They're creating products of efficiencies, products that can actually be used versus destruction. So I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts below. Maybe I'm free ranting, but this is my opinion that as things are going, we're already in World War III, and this is one of the most important video because the world can now see the truth of America and what it has done, not only domestically, but foreignly to all these other countries and to us. Look at the homeless, look at the poverty, look at our education level, look at people working 2 jobs, people working 3 jobs, mom has to work, dad has to work. Come on, guys. This is not what America's about to be, right? But, you know, as we grew fast, we're dying fast too. Love to hear your thoughts below. Don't take no for an answer. Always remember, you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you ever imagined. Romy, peace.